Qam Yasharahla. Shalom. All right. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Makakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone. Peace and salutation to you, Akyam, out there pushing the truth in love and sincerity and in charity with all humility. All right. This is the brother Yashawan from the GMS Bahamas Camp. Back again with another brief lesson. Okay. Another Monday Night Live. All right. So, Lord will, I'll be streaming live on my personal page rather than streaming live on GMS Bahamas page. Okay, so moving forward, Monday Night Lives will be streaming from We Need Yahweh Shai. Okay, so yeah, man. The name of this lesson is titled "Giving Your Best to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai." Okay, giving your best to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. All right, now your best. Okay, every day we should give our best to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Okay, without wavering. Right, doing His will, even with our day-to-day lives, walking in all His ways, keeping His laws, statutes, and commandments. Okay, the best of our strength, the best of our ability as the Most High give it. Okay, so all we must do, okay, whether in word or whether in deed, okay, as the scriptures say, do it all in the name of Yahweh Shai Mashiach, giving thanks, praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, our Father. Okay, because whatever we do, okay, we must do it heartily, okay, as unto Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai and not unto men. Okay, emphasizing that it's a service to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right, so when we walk in all the ways of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, and when we do with His will, when we pour more in the Spirit and try to live a righteous life, okay, we're basically emphasizing the services, okay, of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right, so yeah, man. So let's get this precept, Colossians chapter 3, and verse 17. All right. It says, and whatsoever ye do in word or in deed, do all in the name of the Lord Mashiach Yahushai, giving thanks to the Most High and the Father by Him. All right. This is exactly what the scriptures say. All right. So whatever you do, so you got to be mindful, all right, of how you treat your brother. You got to be mindful of when you go to work and how you live your life while you do work. All right, the things you do, the things you say. Okay, you gotta be mindful of when you go this way or that way, when you go to the food store or the restaurant or the fast food place or whatever. Okay, you gotta be mindful that that your life, what you had before you came into the truth, or it is no more. All right, so now that you gotta live after the truth now, you gotta live after the Yahweh Shem Yahushai. You gotta display now the characteristics of an elect. If you hope to be a part of an elect, all right, you can't be the same person you was, okay, when you was in the world. All right, so whatever you do, whether in word or whether in deed or works, okay, you must do it unto Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And the scripture tell you to be at peace with all men. Okay, so you don't want to go looking for problems. Okay, and you don't want to go and speak in other terms. Okay, a wise man would hear. All right. So Colossians 3 and 23, they say, and whatsoever ye do, do it heartily as unto the Lord and not unto men. All right. Whatever you do, okay, your works. All right. Whatsoever you do it heartily. So whatever. All right. Especially if you're doing a good work, okay, you let another man praise you. All right. Because if you're gonna do something and then you're gonna talk about it, then guess what? that counted as nothing because the Lord look at that and say, you boasting, okay, you being proud, all right, vain, which is empty, all right, so that is nothing, okay. So you want to make sure your good works shine and show before men and not talk about it, not brag about it, okay, and with that giving your best, okay, to Yahweh Shem Yahushai, all right. So whatsoever services we do for Yahweh Shem Yahushai, we must do it with all our hearts, okay, which is to the best, okay. If we're going to do a lesson, what we must put into it, search out things, gather info as a skillful builder, all right. A builder don't just build without a plan, all right. So when we be diligent, okay, you want to gather your information first. You want to give your best, all right. It's the same thing when you go to work, okay. When you go to work, all right, like I mentioned it earlier, your day-to-day life, whether you go on the job, all right, or when you're going to do something for a brother, okay, you're gonna give your best. You're not gonna be stingy, okay. You're not gonna hold back, all right. You're gonna do as though you're doing for your house shy, all right. When you go on to work and perform your duties, okay, yeah, it could be challenging at times because you look at this one you ain't doing, that one you ain't doing, all right. But you, knowing who you are, okay, and knowing you living after Yahweh Shem Yahushai, all right, you put that aside, okay, and do your best, okay, because the Lord sees all things and He rewarded them, okay. He sees all things, okay, and He rewarded them because promotion comes from the Lord and not mine, all right. So don't be discouraged, all right. So in every work we began to do in the service of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, in the law and to the command and the commandments to seek Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Okay, we must do it with all our heart. All right. This would come as us. This would come to us as what prosper. It will come prosper to us. Okay, either in the spirit or in the works. Okay, or in more wisdom, more knowledge and understanding. Okay, in Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right. There's an account in Second Chronicles with Hezekiah. Okay, and how he seek the Lord and prospered. Okay, so we not Israelite that we should do the same? Yes, we are Israelite. Okay, and us who hope to be a part of the elect, who saying we are prophets. All right, we are the same. Okay, so let's go to the account in Second Chronicles chapter 31. All right, and we can let's show you how Hezekiah, okay, seek Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and he did the service of Yahweh Shem Yahushai and prospered. All right, this is Second Chronicles 31 and verse 20, right? And thus did Hezekiah throughout all Judah, and wrought that which was good and right and truth before Yahweh his power. You see that? So Hezekiah did what he did. He wrought, right, that which was good and right and true before Yahweh's power. Okay, so what he did, right? What he did, he displays he displayed the qualities of a constitutional king, and in restoring and upholding the ancient institute of the kingdom, which are the ways of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, right? As it says, and wrought that which was good and right and truth before Yahweh his power. Okay, who says who says the law isn't good, right? Christians says the laws isn't good because why? They say the laws is done away with, right? Now, 'cause as it say here, Hezekiah throughout all Judah and wrought that which was good, okay, which is him keeping the ways of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, the laws, statutes, and commandments, all right, and right, which is the commandments, and truth, which is the commandments, this word, before Yahweh, his power, all right, okay. So when you look at the Christians, they say the words of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, or this word, is no more, all right. Basically, that's what they're saying. Okay, they're saying the laws is done away with, right? And like I said, who said this word? Who said the law isn't good? Okay, Christians. Christians say the laws isn't good. All right. So let's just get some precept. All right, just to show you. This is debunk what they say. This is 1 Timothy 1:8, right? They say, but we know that the law is good, which the Christians say the laws is done away with. But we know that the law is good if a man use it lawfully. You see, the law is good if a man use it lawfully. Okay, meaning he keeping the ways of Yahweh Shem Yahushai to the best of his ability that the Most High have given him, to his strength. All right. Shalom Malak Yahweh Shem Yahushai Barakatah. Okay. So that's one thing, that's one point there to show you that they Christians they don't know nothing. All right. Let's get another one. Romans, all right, Romans 7:12. They say, wherefore the law is holy, because you remember now, going back to Second Chronicles, Second Chronicles 31:20, right? Whereas it say, Hezekiah wrought that which was good and right and true. Okay, Romans 7:12. Wherefore the law is holy, and the commandment holy and just and good. But the Christians say the laws is done away with. So if the laws is done away with, then this whole word is done away with. This whole word shouldn't be no good. Okay, you could do whatever you want to do. Okay, that's what they say. All right, and that's confusion. All right, this is why they love. This is why they have the spirit of Babal on them, which is confusion. All right, we back in Second Chronicles 31:21. Right, you say, and in every work that he began in the service of the house of the Most High, and in the law, right, and in the commandments, to seek his power, he did it with all his heart and prospered. You see, he did it with all his heart and prospered. And this is why we have to acknowledge Yahweh Shem Yahushai in all his ways, all right, which will lead us to success by giving our best. Okay, now some brothers may say they're giving their best, right? But in the eyes of the Lord, your best may not be the best. Okay, because guess what? You only on highways and byways once a week for half hour, right? You may be out on highways and byways during 2 hours, right? But what happened to the other rest of days? after the week. Okay, you haven't been feeding the sheep, feeding the flock. All right, we are commanded to feed the flock. Yahweh Shai asked Peter 3 times. Right? All right. Okay. So when you say you're doing the best, all right, your best should be, you know, best. Whereas brothers can say, look, yeah, this brother doing the work. All right. This brother doing the work. Okay. All right. Shalom, shalom, Akim, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, Bashem Kodas, Barakatam. Edification for the whole for the elect of Israel. Shalom, Malak, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, Barakatam. All right. Post here down. Okay. 1 Corinthians 15 and 58 in the NLT. So, my dear brothers and sisters, be strong and immovable. Always work. I can't see this too good. Salakia. All right. Always work enthusiastically for the laws, for the Lord, for you know that nothing you do for the Lord is never useless, Khan. I said, nothing you do for the Lord is never useless. Okay? Because guess what? That going on your spiritual bank account. That going on your tab. All right? For when we get the kingdom. All right? And then another thing is too, there's no shame in doing this work. There's no shame at all. All right? Okay? There's no shame at all in doing this work. Okay? So let's go to Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 5. It says, trust in Yahweh with all thy heart and lean not unto thy own understanding. Lean not, right? That's you pondering on whether you should do this or do that for the Lord. Like the brother just posted that precept. Okay, nothing you do is not useless. All right, anything you do for the Lord, it isn't useless. Okay, as long as you're doing it unto Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, to the best of your ability in righteousness, all right, it isn't useless. Okay, so the scriptures say, trust in Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai with all thy heart and lean not unto thy own understanding. Okay, that's like I said, that's you pondering on whether you should do this or do that for the Lord, whether you should do it like this or whether you should do it like that. All right, what you need to do, if you're not sure, get assistance from brothers, from older Akim, all right, from younger Akim, from brothers on the whole. All right, do not lean on your understanding. Okay, seek the brothers, right? Okay, verse 6 say, in all thy ways acknowledge him, acknowledge you, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, and he shall direct thy path, right? So in all your thoughts, your goings, your doings, don't be stingy in your ways. Okay, you must acknowledge Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right, and we know, brothers, we always say you would want to see Yahweh Shai in your brothers. So if you thinking foolishness about your brother, all right, that's your evil thought. Okay, all right. If you're gonna do something for your brother, you must not be stingy. Okay, and if you're gonna be stingy, then you're thinking that's a thought come in your head before the words to come out. All right, shouldn't be stingy. Okay. Another thing is you made $2,000 this week. All right, but 200 is going to be too much to give back or to give for your tithes. All right, because you may be a brother who will make two or 3 grand this week or that week of overtimes or whatever have you, but when time to pay tithes, or that 300 that's too much to give, or that 200 that's too much to give. You're supposed to be cheerful when you're giving it. You're supposed to be glad to give it, and that's going on your best for Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right, okay. So whatsoever you do, whether in deed, whether in word, or whether in deed, you must do it all unto Yahweh Shai, giving all praise to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right. For 7 say, be not wise in thine own eyes, fear Yahweh, and depart from evil, because that's the evil thought you're thinking on what you should do and how stingy you're going to be towards your brother or your brothers. All right. Remember in the garden with Cain and Abel. Okay, Abel offered up his best. What Cain offer? All right. Okay. So take that evil thought out of your head, rebuke it. All right. Put it far from you. All right, because we're supposed to honor the Most High with our first fruits. Okay, I can shoot down the verse 9 and 10, Proverbs 3 and 9. Honor Yahweh Shem Yahushai with thy substance and with the first fruits of all thy increase. All right, so shall thy bars, so shall thy barns be filled with plenty, and thy presses shall burst out with new wines. All right, so this emphasizes, right, that honoring Yahweh Shem Yahushai with our best is a way to acknowledge his provision and blessing, and not only physical, but also spiritual. All right. So this should be a broader principle of offering our best to Yahweh Shem Yahushai in all areas of life. Okay. Our offerings should reflect our gratitude and commitment to Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and not just a minimal effort. Okay, this is our life, and our life should be Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right. Okay, so when it comes to the Lord, you can't be stingy. Okay, you gotta go all out. All right, and that's just with everything. Okay, so you're gonna do a lesson. All right, you're gonna make sure you do that lesson to the best of your ability unto Yahweh Shem Yahushai and not unto man. Okay, all right. And then if you're going to give, you should give not sparingly. All right, you should give to your best, to every man. Every man should give according to his strength, as the scriptures say. All right, this is our Numbers 18 and 29. All right, it say, out of all your gifts, you shall offer every heave offering of Yahweh, right? Of all the best thereof, even the hollow part thereof, out of it. Okay. Now, what is a gift? All right. When you go into the strong, right? They say specifically, in a good sense, a sacrificial offering. Right. That is a gift, a sacrificial offering. So when we offer our tithes, is a sacrificial offering. All right. When we give with a clean heart and to the best of our ability, that considers us a sacrificial offering as well. Okay, so you shouldn't feel some type of way, right, in your offering, whether it be small or great. All right. because you make a lot of money this week, right? And you know your offering or your tithes should be $300-400, but you don't want put it. You feel like that's too much money to put at one time. All right. Then you ain't offering your best to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right. Same thing with if you know you could help a brother, but you want to be stingy with helping a brother. All right. Then you ain't offering your best to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Okay. Same thing with you going on the highways and byways. Same thing with you doing videos. Okay. You may do a video today. And then you say, well, I can do a video sometime at the end of the week. You never get to do a video until you go out on the highways and byways. You ain't offering the Lord your best. All right. The apostle Dame give out a decree that every man in GMS should do 3 videos a week. Okay, that's the minimum. All right. Now, if you could do 3 videos, you may say, oh, well, I can do 3 videos and then, hey, that can be it. That can be my cut off. No, it shouldn't be so. If I do 3 videos in one day, all right, that's more power to me. I know I have the rest of the week. I can do all kind of videos, all kind of lessons. All right. So it shouldn't be, I do a video today, I do a video tomorrow, I do a video the tomorrow after tomorrow, right? And then I can say, well, all right, but that's it. No. When you're thinking like that, you're thinking stingy. Because here it is now, the Lord doesn't give you the spirit to do these lessons. But now that you don't do them, then you can say, well, all right, well, I can just chill. All right? You shouldn't have that thought in your head. All right? Okay? So we go back here to Numbers 18 and 29. Out of all your gifts, you should offer every half offering unto Yahweh of all the best thereof, even the hollow part thereof, out of it. Okay, and like I said, right, the gift is a sacrificial offering, right? So now, what is a half, right? A half is a contribution, okay? All right, a half is a contribution, right? Which the top your gift also, or your half, goes back to the fatness. Okay. All right. Now in some other translation, okay, in the ESV says every contribution, right, is due to the Lord. Okay. So not only in giving your tithes, but also committing our works unto the Lord as well. Okay. Remember now, in Colossians 3:17, right? So we must be mindful of that as well. All right, whether we helping a brother, all right, doing the work at your job, all right, doing the works of the Lord, okay, and of course, doing the works of the Lord, okay, in sincerity and charity, with all humility, committing to Him, right? So let's show you the Proverbs 16 and verse 3. Right? It says, commit thy works unto Yahweh, and thy thoughts shall be established. You see? Commit your works, whatever you do, for the Lord. Right? Commit your works, right, unto the Lord, whether in word or deed. Right? All right. So at the end of the day, you must do all to the glory of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Okay. Let's show you the 1 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 31. 1 Corinthians 10 and 31. It says, whether therefore ye eat or drink or whatsoever ye do, do all to the glory of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Now, you ain't gonna go and kill and steal and rob, right? You ain't gonna go and commit adultery, okay? You ain't gonna go and causing this problem and that problem, all right? They are not after the works of the Lord, but after the works of the flesh. Okay, they are carnal. Okay, so you wanna commit yourself, commit your works, your good works, which is in righteousness, which is in walking in all the ways of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Okay, you want those are the ways you want to commit unto Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Okay, helping the brother, helping your family. Okay, spending time in the Word, training your children, teaching them. Okay, having spiritual conversation with Akim. Okay, reading. All right, just trying to live your life in the ways of the Lord. Okay, now Christians like to say they live in their righteous life, but they eating all of the abominable foods. Okay, they are being naked. Okay, they are backbiting. They being a tail bearer. All right, they envy each other. All right, they murdering they unborn children. All right, all these stuff, but yet they live in a righteous life. Okay, so a righteous life is the opposite of that. All right. So back at 1 Corinthians 10 and 31, whether therefore ye eat or drink, or whatsoever ye do, do all to the glory of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Right? So guess what? We will labor in this truth, giving our best to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Okay, sacrificing with our works to be worthy and acceptable to him, which is our reasonable service when we go on highways and byways, when we live our life daily. That is our reasonable service. Okay. Romans 12 and 1. All right. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice. You see that? You present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, which is your reasonable service. Okay, so your body, okay, your body, when you come into this truth, all right, are not you, are not yours. All right, because the Most High is supposed to do what? Dwell in you. Go back to Wisdom of Solomon 1, right? For wisdom cannot enter into the malicious soul, into the body. All right, so if you change, according to 2 Corinthians 5 and 17, if you change, you're supposed to be a new man. All your works now, you're supposed to be what? Committed unto Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Then now you what? You walking in all his ways, doing what is right, seeking him, okay, praying, worshiping, serving him in spirit and in truth, okay, with all humility, okay, being in less offense, all right, okay, and a whole lot of other characteristics that attach to that, okay, because your body now, right, is also a representation, okay, going back to Yahweh Shem Yahushai now, because you now sacrificing now, okay, and you got to do it to the best of your ability that the Most High have given you. Okay, so the Most High have given you this truth, this light. Okay, now you got to go and sacrifice it. You got to put it on display. Okay, you got to give it back to Him. All right, and you got to be good with it. You gotta be your best. You see, in every aspect of this body. You see, your brothers need help, and you know you can help. All right, but anything that they may need. Now you have some brothers, their hands always out. All right, You got to watch out for brothers, certain brothers like that. All right. You don't want to lie to them. That's another thing. Okay. You should not lie to your brother. Because if you're supposed to see Yahweh Shai in your brother, then you lying to Yahweh Shai. Okay. Scripture tell you, this is law precept. Scripture tell you what Romans 12:2, and be not conformed to this world. You see? So if you lying to your brothers and you being stingy, okay, then you basically conform to this world. All right. You rocking a top of the line phone, right? But when you're doing your videos with a bubbler, all right? You rocking an iPhone, but when you're doing the works of the Lord, you're doing your videos or you're recording your live show, you're dealing with you're doing it with a low cost budget phone. All right. So you really and truly you gotta think about that. All right. Are you giving the Lord your best? All right. Yeah, it is. You got, you know, you walking top of the line. But when you serve the Lord to your best, you giving the Lord pilch. Okay. You giving the Lord crumbs. All right. Shouldn't be so. All right. Doc did a lesson few weeks back. Okay. This truth come before everything. Okay, you go ahead and check that out on GMS Bahamas page about 3 weeks back. All right, this truth come before everything. Okay, so with that, all right, the scripture says, "Be not conformed." Romans 12:2. Be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. All right, so your best now. Okay, if you were saying that your best after you hear it, you're saying that your best was then, and you wasn't, truthfully, you wasn't giving your best, but you should start doing your best now. Okay? Because the scripture says, "Be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what that is good." You see? What is that good? Unacceptable, unperfect will of the Most High. You see? So, are you giving the Lord your best? All right? How could you say you giving the Lord your best, but you don't put up no videos on your page? How could you say you're giving the Lord your best, and when you check your page or your pages, you ain't doing a video in 2 months? Before 2 months, it was 4 months. Before 4 months, it was 6 to 8 months. Before 6 to 8 months, it was 2 years ago. But you giving the Lord your best. You see? How could you say you're giving the Lord your best when you don't want to record a video and put it on your own page? All right. How could you say you're giving the Lord your best and you don't know how to operate YouTube? That means you ain't searching out nothing. All right. You got to search out these things in order to know how to do these things. So at the end of the day, okay, you say that hey, you have tried. Okay. All right. The Lord sees all things and knows all things. All right. So yeah, man. Hey, with that, Lord will, this lesson was edified. Okay. I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of great wisdom. Peace and salutation to you, Akim, for just pushing the truth in love, sincerity, and charity with all humility. Okay, Shalom and the Bible board. Shalom to the Akim on the common board. All right, stay strong. You're soon all the Shalom.